Well, hello there and welcome to a very special episode of Meet Your Maker indeed. We are on BTM 16.2.0. I just joined the server and I'm already having the time of my life. Right now there are some technical issues, I guess that's to be expected with hundreds of players connected to the same server. There's some lags and some small crashes, but that won't spoil our fun. In case you don't know what BTM is, BTM stands for Better Than Minecon, and it's an actual convention on a Minecraft server. The team organizing BTM built this giant convention center, housing all the booths built by the actual mod authors themselves. So in a way, this is the actual place to meet your makers. I myself am a first-timer, so this is going to be my very first BTM. I've been told there's going to be panels, there's going to be special events, and a ton of shenanigans. So without further ado, let's dive into it and have some fun, shall we?
Well, BTM sort of started in 2015. Azzy was a number of people couldn't make it to Minecon either because of the location or because of the cost. And as a joke, Azzy tweeted saying that they were going to Better Than Minecon on such and such a date. And it was originally a joke, but as he realized they could probably actually make that happen. And so in 18 hours, they chucked together a convention and it actually happened. And then, I guess as an extension of the joke, they did BTM again next year, and then again a little bit later in the year. And ultimately, it's sort of a way to have fun with all the modders and all the people who enjoy playing with mods. And it's not exactly serious, as it says on the site, because as said, it started as a joke, and it still basically is. It's just gotten slightly more serious in the time that it's been since BTM 15. Well, the pack has 114 mods according to Forge. There's room for 96 booths here. Each floor is 16 booths. And the fourth floor didn't end up getting used, so there were actually only 80 booths. There's still a few empty spots, so I think there's around 72 booths.
Okay, what are your hopes and aspirations as you go into this event?
I guess it's just for the panels to actually go well, the booths to not crash anyone, and for the server not to crash too many times.
Well, I guess I'll dive in and have some fun. Thanks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
I'm a person who comes from the community, so for me, community contact is really important. The community is also part of the development progress.
Would you say the majority of players that visited your booth were veterans, or would you say that there were also a lot of, let's say, newbies?
Well, I would say it's veterans, yeah.
I would say it's mixed because the new players don't really know BTM yet. Like they probably haven't heard of it yet. But the person who came into modded Minecraft recently, I'm sure they've seen it already because it's all over the FTB Reddit, and so yeah, I think it's more of a mixed community.
Well, is there something that you can take away from this BTM? Anything you learned? Any bugs you guys found?
Well, I personally noticed some severe performance issues in my mod and, of course, in Minecraft in general, and it will improve as such. So it's quite, useful.
I personally think BTM is a great way of getting input from the community.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. Bye-bye. Oh, I was able to grab AZ for an interview. AZ, of course, being the founder of BTM. So this is the first time you're not actively organizing. What are your first impressions?
I think it went pretty well, and I'm surprised at the level at which the new organizing team managed to keep the scale of this in control, as in there's so many more booths and people than when I was organizing it. And I also was a bit sad because I could no longer manage BTM, but I was still a little bit sad that I'm going to have to give it away for the benefit of the community. But yeah, I guess sadness and some worry, but in the end it all came out alright. Hosting BTM is very hard, and it gets harder and harder with the amount of people getting involved. So it was a bit of a relief, as the first 2016 BTM did put a rather large strain on my life, because I was in the middle of the final year of high school-ish at the time. So that was quite straining, and I underslept for 2 weeks in a row just to get it done. But
just opened a giant gap behind you, or is it just me?
It's not just you.
Welcome to BTM.
Yes, see, this is no BTM is complete without an explosion. That's a fact, but usually it was Matter Overdrive providing the entertainment for us. This time that's not the case.
Talking about traditions, you think the traditions you started have been carried on in the right way? Or
the atmosphere is definitely different.
Yes.
But that's a good thing, because trying to emulate someone else's atmosphere usually ends badly. It's better to start your own thing, even if it means it's going to be different than what some expected. But I enjoy the flamingos, and that was something we started. I also enjoy the fact that Open Computers still essentially runs the convention, as it's a very useful tool for presentation giving, even though it's not used to its full potential in many cases, especially due to the TPS issues that we keep hitting every time.
How would you characterize the convention this year and in the past when it comes to, let's say, a balance between professional or rather professional people when it comes to mods and absolutely newbies?
There have never been many professionals, because the professionals very often get to go to like the big Minecon. Better Than Minecon was partially intended to be mod community's alternative to Minecon, but also a place where people can get a chance to talk equally, whether they're big or small. And this has obviously attracted many small modders who get their chance to shine and show their mod to modpack makers or server admins. And I have multiple confirmed cases of new mods being discovered by modpack makers or server admins because they were on BTM, so I think it's definitely worth it if you want to get your mod out there, showing it on BTM. It's a great way to give many creators a hands-on experience with your mod. And I think that's the very important part. We as a community need to create more experiences which unify the community rather than divide it further. And I'd say that BTM has been amazing in providing that place to have fun together in an environment with people who all believe the same thing. It essentially fulfills the same roles of a convention, but without downsides of them being expensive and hard to get to because everyone's in a different country.
Well, did they already hand out the unstable pearls? Because I think the ending of the convention is drawing nearer, and it's supposed to happen in the unstable dimension. And to get there, we need one of those pearls. Let me check out. Yes, everybody's gone, and there are some pearls on the ground. Let's grab one of these and use them. I've actually never done it before. See you on the other side, my friend. Let's activate Mumble and see what the other guys are doing. Whoa, I think I'm crashing. Hello?
Oh, I have another.
This is amazing.
Oh, okay.
So on the scale of
Yeah, I know how to solve this
Flamingo
puzzle.
to Dank, what would you rate it?
Oh, I can
Dutch.
throw items.
Dank.
Okay.
Probably
I don't
It's
know.
I
basically-
don't know.
10 flamingos. I don't know.
Dank Flamingo
Well,
times the square root of
I mean-
infinity.
Valk's got his batteries here, and they're measured in danks.
Yeah.
They actually are.
What the hell?
The
You-
probe
You are allowed.
correctly.
You are allowed to thank me for this. I pushed for danks, but it never worked out.
Oh, I
Danks.
see.
Me.
Is it basically the Tesla API renamed?
Right.
Oh.
Question. Why is there a
It's
massive hole
because
outside
Shit, not
the
fast enough.
convention center?
That's a tradition that we keep every year. Like, but-
And if it
What is it?
well,
Because that's
to be
where
honest,
spawn is.
it was like this. In BTM 15, there
Yes.
was a small hole, and then on BTM 16, we went for overboard and destroyed the entire convention. So this year we decided to scale it back a bit.
Everybody unstick yourself.
Will the Draconic Evolution booth crash the server? Just go there. If it crashes, too bad.
Okay.
I have the perfect idea to convince modders to make their mod mode more stable. Simply announce that you're keeping BTM up until the next crash, and only then.
Let's see when that happens.
Which means in a few minutes.
Yeah.
More tomatoes.
Well, this seems to be the ending of this year's BTM. I sure enjoyed my stay. Apparently, traditionally, there are going to be some shenanigans now. People trying to crash the server, raising TPS, building strange structures. So I will be hanging around to give you some impressions of that. What the hell is going on there? And maybe get another interview. I don't know. We'll see. Be right back. With BTM 2016 2.0 behind you, you were able to sleep. What are the lasting impressions? What do you think? Did it all go well?
It went a lot better than I expected. We realized really late into the con that this sort of atrium deal is really bad for performance. I mean, basically everyone got pretty horrific FPS lag. I mean, right now, talking to you, I'm getting 10 FPS. I feel like the modder Q&A that we did on the first day was pretty great, and we had a lot of great people up there. We had a pretty big audience, and it was ultimately just overall wonderful. And I guess the other big thing would be to start it even earlier so that I could test out the mods on my own before everyone got on to build booths, because it seems like sort of a constant is everyone's going to get on at almost the last minute to build their booth. And so I ultimately would want to start as early as possible and then test a lot of the mods myself to make sure that there's not a bunch of lingering crash issues.
Well, thank you for the interview. Thank you and your team for organizing this awesome event. And thanks for all the time you put into this. It's much appreciated. Thank you and bye-bye.
So I'd say I believe that BTM should carry on. That's my final word. It's great and it's a very worthwhile institution for Minecraft modder players and creators alike.
Then better than Minecon, you also get feedback from different sides. You get feedback from people with different points of view, and that's really important.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it was worth the time.